Are you gonna dog it? Yeah, good idea.
Didn't work.
Didn't work. It's terrible.
Doesn't work as well.
No.
All right, all. Welcome to the meeting today. The nice Halloween festivities. Totally normal. Brad, what did you dress as? Mason Crosby? All righty, we are excited for the day. We're gonna have some fun towards the end, but business to start. So we have a couple really good cultural moments right now, opportunities to give. It's the time of year. And so the first one that we would like to share is what Chris Ruskowitz has been doing for how many years would you say? 4 years? And a really, really good opportunity. So she can say it better than anyone. So everyone give Chris a round of applause.
Thank you, everybody. This is the 4th year for doing our annual blessing baskets for veterans. Some of you have participated in the past. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They moved it up from Christmas to Thanksgiving this year because they're very low on donations. So a little bit about who they are for those of you that don't know. The Milwaukee Homeless Veterans Initiative, this is their 13th year of serving veterans that fall through the cracks, veterans that don't qualify for VA benefits or can't navigate the VA. It's very difficult. They work with the sheriff's departments, with police departments, with the street angels. Most of these vets have PTSD. They are homeless because they're embarrassed. They feel that they are strong. They've been to war, and I have a son who has PTSD, so I understand how they feel. And so it's hard for them because they don't want to admit they need help. What MHVI does is they have a crew of a ton of different volunteers. So they've got counselors, they've got therapists. What's really cool about it is that they also have a whole division that helps them not just get through PTSD, a lot of them with substance abuse. What I love about them, they teach them how to help themselves. So they have volunteers from the Department of Workforce Development. That is there every weekday. They teach them how to fill out a job application. They help them with their resumes, and they role play. Imagine that. They role play job interviews. So they're really all encompassing. And what they really need is once they bring these people in, and they're men and women living on the streets, their families, once they bring them in and get them on their feet, they need a place to live. They have nothing. So they are out, looking for toasters to can openers to sofas. One of the things that a lot of you do, and I know caregivers do it often, is remember if you have buyers and sellers that want to get rid of anything, be it silverware to sofas to whatever it is that they have, they will pick it up for free. So if you have a buyer or seller, seller's leaving furniture or they don't want it, buyer doesn't want it, let me know, they will come pick it up for free. But the blessing baskets are for Thanksgiving dinner because their food pantry is very, very short. So I have laundry baskets for those of you that have not done this, and I have them here. Inside of it is a list. Really simple. Grab the basket, go to the store, buy the food, get a gift card for $25 or whatever you feel is appropriate for fresh fruit. Bring it here by November 15th, or you are all cordially invited to my Packer party on November 17th. This is for my clients, but anybody that brings a basket in the past has come to the parties as well. I know that Lisa's been there. Did you come last year? No. Somebody else, there was a couple other people that donated that came to the parties. There you go. So any questions, let me know. Scan the QR code, let me know if you are coming to the party. Because I wanna make sure, because we're doing pizza and watching Packer game at Maddie's in their new venue for parties, so you're all invited to that, and bring a basket. If you have any other questions, let me know. They are always looking for things as well, so if there's anything else that you have that you can donate, or you have clients that can, donate something, just let me know. Get up for free, which is what our people are always looking for, right? How do I get rid of this sofa that I don't want to take? Question.
On the furniture, I don't know if it was your organization or not, but
They can't take anything with pets. The reason being, they had a little guy who ended up in the hospital because he was allergic to cats, but they didn't know it until they put furniture from a home that had cats in it, and they hurt the cats. So they would love to take it, even and clean it, but they can't because of that. So let me know if you guys have any other questions. Full of basket, they're downstairs, so afterwards, if you wanna go get one, I'll bring them up at the front desk. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. A lot of times we want to give, but we don't know exactly what to do. This is literally a checklist. So if you don't want to think and you just want to be told, it's a great opportunity, which I always appreciate. And we also have, I'm going to move this. We also have another opportunity, which you guys have been aware of. We have the bin right outside. Is it right outside Diana's old office? Yeah. So it's super cold in Wisconsin, like apparently it's cold because today it's 80, but eventually probably by like Sunday, it's going to be 20 or -10. So just do everything you can to bring this. There's also donations if you want to just donate and they can buy their own stuff. And we have another great opportunity that Charlie, you can talk about. Yeah. Because it is a huge mission throughout all the KW offices. So welcome Charlie Stale, everyone.
Thank you, Thor. All right, so I have numbers to share, but a different set of numbers, okay? As we've grown as an organization, one of the challenges that a lot of you know who've been here for a while is like, we're incredibly philanthropic forward in our communities. Last year as an organization across all locations, we donated over $100,000 to nonprofits. And one of the challenges in that when you serve such a wide variety of people is how do you identify nonprofits for most your group? And this is no different than like Harley Davidson, Molson Coors, Northwestern Mutual, Baird. Everybody has the same problems as you continue to grow and scale. Is how do you make an impact in the community where you all live, work, and play? And the solution to that is the United Way. And so every fall, there's a fall window. The United Way runs the campaign with almost every large major corporation in Southeast Wisconsin. This year they have a goal of raising $57.5 million that will make an impact in over 220 local nonprofits that serves the 4-county metro area of Southeast Wisconsin. And I'm willing to bet with 100% certainty of the 220 partner organizations of the United Way, there is an organization that is near and dear to your heart, right? And so it's a phenomenal way to help during a time of giving. How do we set forth an opportunity to leverage our platform and to do what we do to make good within our community? So a little bit more about the United Way of Greater Milwaukee and Waukesha. Their mission statement is to change lives and improves our community by mobilizing people and resources to drive strategic impact, health, education, and financial stability for people. 1,500 corporate partners, 50,000 donors, and 220 local programs will all fight together to create lasting change. In the 4-county area of southeastern Wisconsin, just a little bit around the people in the organizations that they serve. Over 50% of those that they serve are under the age of 30. 65% are female, and roughly half are African American or Black within the Black community. And from an income standpoint, the majority of those they serve all make less than $40,000. And so it really is, when you think about how do you galvanize a community to support a community, It is really truly the United Way's plan and mission. And so for a little bit of context, when I used to work at Molson Coors, I was on the United Way campaign for 3 years. Each year we raised over $1 million towards United Way. And so as I was thinking about how we do this and how do we have all these different organizations and how do we leverage our scale to make an impact, I started an initiative 2 years ago just within the KWs. The first year we raised $5,000. You know what? $5,000 is more than $5,000 they did the year before, which was 0 within the KW community. Last year we had 50 donors who pooled together the resources to raise just around $21,000 for the United Way. And so this year I'm back with a challenge to the group. And I'll share this another time. There's a video just talking a little bit more about the United Way campaign. But last year we raised $20,454 across 50 people. And when I look at it, it's not as much as to the monetary piece of the donation, even if it's $5, $10, $15. I grew up in a household where my parents always challenged us that you have 3 things to give in this world: your time, your talent, and your treasure. And so the reason why I share that with you is it doesn't have to be the largest monetary donation. It's just this simply act of giving and how you find fulfillment and purpose and giving back to our community to make it and creating economies of scale to the impact we all have. So this year, I set a goal for the target, and we have champions within the locations. Michelle is our champion in Southwest, where we're going to raise $25,000. Now, in order to do that, I created some incentives, and you can give and win this year United Way campaign with KW Milwaukee. So what did I do? First, United Way has partnered with a variety of the big fun, I would say, entertainment and fun things in town. If you donate between now and the end of next week, you have an opportunity to enter their larger raffle. There's things such as 2-year lease towards the vehicle, Milwaukee Brewers spring training package where they fly you to Phoenix, Green Bay Packers game day experience, a 7-day stay at Cocoa Beach, Milwaukee Admirals, Bucks, Summerfest, Grand Geneva, you name it, you can win it. All of it starts today for us in KW Milwaukee. And you have a chance to win across the macro of the United Way campaign. Now, what I did is I pulled together my own resources and said, I'm going to create a raffle. I'm going to get some really cool things to give people away as an incentive to helping us get to our $25,000 target. So anyone who gives at $1,000 level and above, I have Jason Abrams, who has donated coaching sessions. I also am going to give away 2 games for courtside seats to the Bucks. It's an all-inclusive package, food, beverage, and parking, 2 different games. $500 and above, I'm giving away a night at the Pfister, the night of the holiday party, because I know some of you need that night at Pfister. We're giving away rounds of golf at Shenigwa Country Club, another round of golf at Milwaukee Country Club. We're going to pay for a ticket to family reunion or mega camp. I'm also going to pick up airfare for someone to go to Vegas for family reunion. And I'm also going to give away a ticket to Bold in 2025. Now, $100 level. Those that give at the $100, I have picked up some Sendix gift certificates, some Quick Trip gift certificates, one-on-one coaching sessions with a variety of different people who have been willing and able to donate of their time. It's simply just this. We're trying to make an impact where we give and live. An organization will have paid out $54 million in commissions so far this year. It's a significant contribution to the economic impact, and we all have a responsibility because to whom much is given, much is expected. And so we do that through the United Way campaign to be able to touch 220 partner organizations. That somewhere in there is something that is near and dear to your heart. And the campaign is going on right now across all organizations, whether it's Baird, Harley-Davidson, Northwestern Mutual, and Keller Williams. We're excited to participate in it, and we're hoping the incentives drive a little competition. Now, last thing, as it relates to United Way, the office location with the highest level of engagement, not the number of donations. So we get 50% of the roster to donate $5. Based on roster engagement, I'm going to bring a food truck to the roster that has the highest level. And we're going to do lunch as a thank you from me to everyone who's willing to participate and drive a little bit of AW Milwaukee location competition. Cool. Love it. 25,000, I think, across 700 sales associates isn't a big ask. Considering last year we raised it basically with 50 people. And I know this morning so you understand that I put my money where my mouth is. As an organization, we are going to be making the initial $5,000 contribution. My wife and I personally are going to be donating $1,000 to kick it off. My parents are going to be personally donating $1,000 to kick it off. So we're $7,000 to the $25,000 goal just between the organization and our household and my parents' household. Make an impact. And part of this is just seeding the importance of teaching people how to give and why philanthropic energy is important for our communities. Whether it's through Chris's incredible organization that she's done with Milwaukee Homeless Veterans Initiative. Did I get that right? Okay, perfect. Whether it's the coat drive, different things. Again, everyone has three things to give: time, talent, or treasure. How you give them is important as to how we make this community. And United Way is a really simplistic way for us to create impact. Cool. Questions, comments?
What's the cutoff line?
Great question, PC. Thank you. The cutoff line is November 19th. We're going to run this effectively for a 3-week campaign. Also, just to create some clarity, because I had this question this morning, let's say you want to give $300. You get 3 raffle items into the $100 giving area. Hypothetically, you want to give $1,000, but you really want to win something in $500 level. You can enter your name twice. The Bucks tickets were definitely a hot button item this morning. But if you give it $1,000 level, like, we're gonna, make sure that you get a really incredible experience. So what we tried to do was curate some special experiences for people as a way for us to say thank you for your willingness to participate.
One more question.
Yes, PC.
The round of golf at Shaniqua or whatever, is that for 2 or just 1?
For the person who gives, plus we're gonna give, so it's a round for 3, and one of us will host 2 other KW agents, and we'll make sure that you have a good time. There's one thing I know how to do, it's know how to make sure you have a good time.
Charlie?
Yes.
Can you just use the QR code to give, or can you write a check to somewhere?
The QR code is my request. You can also, when you go into the QR code, you can get an invoice where they'll mail you a paper invoice so that you have a receipt and that it's more of a pledge. It's a way that we as an organization can track our level of engagement, and also is a way, just the way the United Way runs the campaign. It's easiest through their platform. Cool? Yes.
I just want to add one thing to support this, because I think most people don't understand. My husband was the IT director for years at United Way. They touch so many people, it's incredible. You have no idea unless you really look into it, all of the nonprofits that they support. So very well worthwhile.
Yeah, I tell you, just on a personal note, Amy Linder, who's their president and CEO, who's been there for the last 7 years, is one of the most incredibly profound people in Southeast Wisconsin who's trying to move mountains. And $57 million in donations is no small feat, spread across 220 nonprofits. And these guys are really good stewards as to how to make a financial impact overall.
They're incredible.
To the extent, I'll give you another little insight, talking about IT. When I know this because we helped facilitate this when I was at Miller, when Miller gets rid of laptops for 5,000 employees, they donate them to the United Way. The United Way has a team that scrubs them and makes sure that everything is up to date. And they take those 5,000 laptops and they give them to partner organizations, schools, whatever it might be. And United Way facilitates all of it. So they do some really incredible work. And we're, I would say the 3rd year of our campaign, we're just trying to seed it and then taking monumental and incremental steps to move forward, just how we all. And if it's not the United Way, or if it's Milwaukee Homeless Veterans Initiative, or if it's anywhere else that's like near and dear, as I know many of you have organizations to your heart, my challenge to you is this. You have 3 things to give: time, talent, and treasure. And they can be weighted differently. A lot of you have great talent and time, and our world needs more people that are willing to give of their time and talent. Cool? Sweet. So we will be running this through November 19th. Stay tuned for raffle details. Stay tuned for the Office at the Highest Level engagement, and we'll rock this thing out to 25,000 for United Way. Sound good? Awesome. Thanks, guys. Oh, yeah, go ahead. I mean, you don't need it, but lastly, just as a quick heads up, we are not running Tuesday team meetings next week. There's a big thing going on in our environment. The Ringling Brothers Circus is going to town. Yeah. Here's the thing. 4 years ago, we ran team meetings on Tuesday, and there was no one who showed up, and no one really cared because a lot of people were really engaged in the democracy of our country. And so next week, Tuesday, I would just encourage you to take your time to go vote, however you vote, however you want. There's no judgment in it, and respect those that on both sides of the aisle, because our world needs more love and care for each other, not more divisiveness. Cool? So no team meeting next week. All right, Scott.
Cool. So who knows what my good friend Peter Parker has been told?
Great power comes great.
Yes. Who knows who Peter Parker is? Close. Spider-Man. So he was always told, with great power comes great responsibility, which reminds me of what Charlie was told, which kind of makes me think he's a superhero. Dawn, you can come on up. We've got the protector here. I mean, the other protector.
The other protector. Not
She'll protect you with her words.
my words, not my hammer, my mic. Spooky compliance update for you guys. It's nothing new. Remember to pay. Sarah did send out emails. If she has not received your receipt for your GMAR dues or your CE and renewal, she did send emails out last week. I don't know if she's batching those, but like they started going out. So if you haven't sent that to her, send it to her. And then just a reminder, Sarah was she was on vacation last week, well deserved. And I was reviewing opportunities, and I was noticing that there's a way that you guys are giving your money, your treasure, involuntarily, hopefully, in that if your opportunities are not submitted by the deadlines, you automatically have $100 fine that goes to KW Cares. Donate to KW Cares, but don't do it through your opportunities. So remember, you don't have to have a complete opportunity to submit it. So don't wait until you have every single document in the file to hit that submit button. Get in what you have, hit submit, and then you've met that deadline. So don't wait until that 10 days, beyond that 10 days. So I was seeing some coming in after closing. So don't do that. Why does it matter? It's because the office has to keep record. If somebody calls and says like, we've got an issue, we need to be able to, we are licensed, we're obligated to hold on to those contracts to have record of them. And if we don't have them in that timeline, we're not doing what we need to do. Any questions about that? All right, that's all I've got for you guys.
Hey.
That's it. Yay!
That's your talent you're giving us here.
All right, so we got training, education, and then we'll have some fun. So thank you for staying with us. Are you talking tech and marketing, I hope? Thank you. Because, yes, just thank you.
So just quickly, here's kind of our lineup of the tech and marketing schedule for Thursdays at 11 a.m. This week, we're doing compliance and command refresher, as well as how to navigate zip forms. We're going to get into monthly newsletters next week, and then customizing your sales pipeline to help you stay more organized. So if you're available, Thursdays at 11, these are also recorded and put onto YouTube.
Tried to log into command in the last.
That's our next slide.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No.
I do that.
if you haven't heard or tried, you need to reset your command password. So there's about 4 different ways you can try to reset your password. Some of them work for some people, the other methods work for other people. So if you're struggling, please reach out to me. I can help navigate it with you. It does need to be 12 characters with the combination of all the fun letters, numbers, special character. It's a lot of letters. And just so you know, you will be resetting your command password quarterly from now on. You're welcome. So,
Can I give a life-changing tip? There is a app called 1Password. 1Password is a password manager that's encrypted that allows you to have unique passwords across every platform you utilize. The only thing I need is highly recommend. It's like
It's awesome.
$40 a year.
yeah.
Yeah. It's called 1Password.
There's also LastPass is another one. Okay, and then we're rounding out October. Tomorrow we have the operations mastermind at noon. And then moving into November, that calendar came out last week. So just watch for any updates on the weekly emails. So in lieu of team meeting, we do have a free headshot day on Tuesday, November 5th out in Shorewood. I think there's like 5 spots left now. So if you need a free headshot, scan this QR code like right now. Because there's like no spots left.
Get a new headshot every 90 days.
That's just.
At least one every 9 years.
Yeah, at least every 9 years.
So I shared this last week, and several teams have been added to this list that will be at Opportunity Knox out in the North Shore office on November 15th. So if you thought about joining a team, want to learn more about the teams that we have in our organization, this is a great opportunity for you to join us. If you want any more information, feel free to reach out to me or to your office leadership team. We'll help connect you to this event. But lots of teams are going to be there. So I think we're up to probably about 15 to 20 teams. So it's going to be a good time. All right, and then Steph, are you on?
I am here.
Hi there.
Hey.
I think it's funny that you got the all-in hat just by yourself. You clearly aren't all in today. You're just like half in. Okay, that's fair. All right, so we've got some exciting news, and this office knows about the budget model that we've been running for, I think, 6 years. We've got some OGs in the room. Raise your hand if you're an OG or close to an OG. By OG, I would say 4 years or more. So look around. So these people are running their business off of a model. Now, has anyone read the book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent? Has anyone heard of that book? Hopefully. So it's the great part about the book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, is this slide right here. So if you don't like to read and you just like to look at pictures, this is one of the best pictures you can look at. Because in the book, there's 4 models to run your business off of. And when we say the word leverage, what's the first thing people think of when you hear the word leverage? What are you leveraging? Like, what are you doing to leverage? Typically, people, right? So you're just like leverage. You think, oh, I got to hire someone. I don't have the money. I don't have the time to train. Does anyone think leverage and think people and then get scared? Okay, so there's four things you can leverage. There's 3 things you can leverage before people, and 2 of them are pretty much free. One is systems. If you have a rock solid system with your transaction coordination or your listing process, do you think you could save a lot of time? Is Peter Promisberger here? No. So he's starting to like realize that for 17 years of being in real estate, like you should have a system for listing houses. You know, I mean, it takes people a while, but it's always something you can do tomorrow. You can leverage models, and all a model is just something that's been proven. So in this sheet, there's 4 models of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. The most important is how much money do you want to make? Does anyone know that question? How much money you want to make in 2025? Raise your hand if you know how much you want to make. And now raise your hand if you know how much you want to net, not how much you want to gross. All right, so with that question, everything else follows that, because if you want to net $1 million, there's models for that. And if you want to net $50,000, you just do 1/20th of the $1 million model, because it's just all math. So then you go in and say, how many leads do I need to get? That's the lead generation model, how they're set. And the third question is, what is this all going to cost me? And that's the budget model. And that's the one that's really fun to skip. Because who wants to, I brought a scale. Can you bring the scale? I bought the scale. I'm joking, Michelle. This is just, she's like, what? So you got to weigh yourself. You got to weigh yourself, and the results are on the screen. We all get to look. Who wants to volunteer? It's as similar to weighing yourself is knowing your numbers, because sometimes it's easier to not know what you weigh. Sometimes it's easier to not know what you're spending and what you're profiting. And then once you get that, you look at the organizational model, and they all tie together.
Yeah, and then Scott, we can take those same concepts and apply it to our business planning, which is exactly what you just walked through, except we're going to start first with, okay, what are the profit goals? And that's likely like, what's the purpose behind our business, right? What are the things we want to do once we've paid our regular business expenses and just our, let's call it survival, personal expenses. And then that funnels down into the economic model, the lead gen model, budget, and organizational model. And when we think about these things, and how Scott said, like that org model is like the one that's not as fun. Well, there's a number of reasons why our agents aren't running profitable businesses, right? We can see agents have a great year, and yet sometimes there's no profit there. And why is that? The first one is, well, they're managing their business for production, not profit. Oftentimes we'll see agents who have a production goal that they're focused on. I want to do $8 million in business. Well, $8 million in business from, like, let's just say 2.4% is 192,000. And $8 million in business at 3.6% is 288. That's almost $100,000 difference that we could be missing if we're aiming for a goal that isn't based on profit. The second one is, well, they don't have a budget, or maybe they created it but aren't following it. And then they're not reviewing their P&L and balance sheet every month. And finally, they're spending all of their profit, not thinking strategically about how can we reinvest this. So when we're looking at it every month, we can see, okay, what lead generation levers are really profitable? Where are we getting like the highest return on investment? Where might we be getting a lower return? And what if we just took that money and funneled it back into the one that we're getting the best return? How could we scale? So we get to be a little bit more intentional when we're running a profit-driven business versus a production-driven business.
So, by the way, guess who put this slideshow together? Me or Stephanie? So, what I'm really excited for, Stephanie, can you take like a little bit just to share who you are and your background? We're going to be partnering up together and combining forces to provide an even better, more just a better, more all-inclusive experience.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Stephanie Minnick. For those of you I haven't met, I'm on the Falkruve and Gallagher team. I help run the sales arm of our business, and I'm still in production. And then I'm a MAPS coach. So I'm in my about to be third year of MAPS coaching. So I get to coach agents, and every month we touch on these topics. And I just really love it. And I'm excited that Scott kind of asked me to join, because it sounds like you guys really have built this program and have found really great success with it. And when I changed the way I thought about my business in terms of a profit driven and started to make sure that my dollars were working for me in the right way, my world changed. And so I'm excited to work on this together with you and help introduce more of you guys to these topics. So thanks for the opportunity, Scott. I was going to say, you look a little different than you looked at 9 a.m. today, too. I wish you would have worn the costume.
I always thought I wanted hair, but it's kind of annoying. It's just like in my face. So Stephanie gets paid $1,000 a month for people to coach people. Going to be doing this with me just to pour into our agents, because we believe that strongly. Now, the point of today isn't to overwhelm you with details, but I want to show you two visuals that says, hey, this is a model. So Keller Williams over the last 41 years has been studying hundreds of thousands of P&Ls, individual agent teams, as big as big and as small as a small. And they came up with a model around how you can run a profit. So the profit percentage, who knows what the profit percentage goal is for the millionaire real estate agent? It's so 30, 30, 40. So 40% of that is profit. So if you're running a business in real estate, goal is 40%. And 30% goes out the window before it even hits your bank account, and it costs a sale. So it only happens when you have a sale. It could be a team split, it could be a referral fee, it could be a transaction coordinator, it could be our company, the company dollar, and then 30% of it goes out in expenses. And it's all tiered based on what your income goals are, which you can see. And then the even better sheet, which we dive into, is it says, okay, if I'm going to spend 30% of my income, where should I spend it? And it breaks it down into 9 different categories. How much should you spending people and in lead gen and in coaching and training? And without going into the numbers, it's all there for you. So if you have never tracked it, there's like a huge guide or a model for you. Does that make sense? So this is what we dive into during the mastermind. And then lastly, Steph's got some questions for you. If you guys want to take out a sheet of paper and a pencil or text on your phone, we've got a couple questions, because what we're doing is we're running a beginner one and we're running an advanced one. So if this is just like making you want to scream, that's awesome, because we have the beginner version. And if you've been doing this for a while, we have the advanced version. So these questions will help you understand which one you might want to join.
Yeah, so let's use the scale of 1 to 5, and 5 is like, I've got this, I could teach the class, I could talk to Gary about it, and 1 being like non-existent, I'm a new beginner. It's great. So the first one would be on a scale of 1 to 5. How would you rate yourself I have a net profit goal in both a dollar amount profit goal and how that relates to my GCI. So what percentage of that is my GCI? Second question, I have a clear understanding of my monthly income and expenses.
And don't overthink this.
Yeah,
We're not grading you. This is your self-assessment.
So I know the categories that are classified as cost of sale in my business. Next one is, at least once a quarter, I review all of my expenses and determine where I can make financial cuts or adjustments.
And reset my password.
I regularly track my net worth and set financial goals. So maybe this is a passive income goal with profit share or real estate rental income. Maybe it's a net worth goal or a debt reduction goal that you've got.
Because really the whole point of how much profit you make in real estate is to transfer it over, build your net worth, build your passive income, which we're going to be talking about in these masterminds.
So I'm comfortable reading and analyzing a P&L statement. And then I know the number of homes I must sell each month just to break even in my business. So this is before profit. What's my break even point? And then,
so total those 8 up. The most you can have is 40, and if you're a 40, you're probably a liar. But if you're 20 or below, could have some work. If somewhere in between.
I think we've got one more. I like this one, so I don't want to forget it.
Oh, my bad. Oops,
that's
that was
okay.
my 7.
This one's a common thing that I hear from people is when they get their 1099, or we look at what they did in the last year, and we think about how we're going to translate that next year. They're like, I don't know where any of that money went. Right? So you guys work really hard for your money. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate yourself on, I work hard and I know where that money went at the end of every month or year?
Love it. So the good news is, no matter what, if you're a beginner or advanced, we're holding an intro session on Thursday, November 14th over Zoom. Everyone's going to the same one. So you don't have to make up your mind now. Does that make sense? So if you're interested in saying, hey, how could I make 2025 my year that I'm really going to know my numbers? Just show up here and we'll dive in deeper. You'll have a clear understanding of which route you want to take. And this is a perfect time of year. We're not going to make you go backwards for this year. we're just gonna start 2025 off on the right foot.
Love it.
Any
Yeah.
questions? Who's excited about this? Compliance, budget, woo!
Right.
Anything
Cool.
else, Stephanie?
No, I would say just come, like, give yourself permission if this is new to you to be new at something again. And know that, like, if you start out in the intro group and you feel like, oh, I'm a little more advanced, jump in with us at the advanced group, and vice versa. If you start a little higher and you think, you know what, I want to get back to basics, that's cool too. So we're excited. I put the link for the sign up in the, you can use a QR code, or I also put it in the chat for those of you guys who are maybe on your phones. But yeah, we look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right, we're gonna level up on that and go all in and get our mind right. It's 11:14. You could change your team name. So we do have the holiday party. I'm sure you guys all know this, but when is RSVP done? Do we have a date?
Ideally in the next 2 weeks.
Ah,
There was an RSVP that was sent out via paperless post. An additional one will be sent out in the next like day or two. So please RSVP. Let us know you're coming.
300 people have already RSVP'd. We have a special packer party planned. Their casino tables will be back. The dance floor will be hotter than hot. And we've curated an incredible food and beverage. Will be more about that. I visited the site on Wednesday and personally added 2 more bar locations on my site. And yeah.
in case you don't get enough on the 4th, we've got another party coming up on the 10th that you can RSVP on, because we want to give, we want to make a lot of money, and we want to have a lot of fun. Speaking of, there's Scary Gingerbread Houses.
Shall, you're gonna have to move fast.
Yep, sorry.
All right, I'm gonna announce the winners because I thought I might as well do something while Scott's gathering. Pumpkin number 2 coming in with 15 votes. Pumpkin number 2. That would be Pumpkin number 6 coming in at 8 votes. There you go. Yay. Okay, as fast as we humanly possibly can go.
All work expands to the time
You
allowed.
were given a number when you walked in, number 5. Come here. Just everybody
Hurry,
remember 5.
Hurry,
Like, let's
hurry,
move it.
hurry, quick,
Move it,
let's
move it,
go.
move it. There's 50 accepted offers, you know, here. Let's go. Okay, number 3, go here. Yeah, I skipped 4, whatever. 3, number 3 is here. As you can tell, we're gonna decorate haunted houses. It's just a fun little event that you guys get to do together.